Okay, so now you've got your idea, you're ready to start planning it out and mapping it out so that we can find out how much it's going to cost us to get that created. So first of all, I recommend that you just literally get a pen and a piece of paper out and you just start scribbling down with a pen and a piece of paper, and you can just, draw out this page, that page, oh, this goes here, that button will do this, that. That will give you a great clear idea in your mind. Then what I suggest you do is we use Photoshop. Now I've created a PSD for you. You don't have to use Photoshop. There's no real rule for it, but I recommend you use Photoshop. I'm going to show you how to use this PSD and create some mock-ups for your pages and stuff. So just remember and bear in mind that you will have got a market in mind. Okay, you're in the trenches, you know your market, you know your area, you've got this clear idea in your mind and your head, and you're going to be giving it to some programmers who they program. Okay, they get given stuff, they program, they get up, they go to work, they program, they get up, they go to work, program, or whatever. Okay, so the more clear, the more precise, the more thorough you are with your mock-ups, then the more smoothly this whole process is going to go, and it's not going to come up with any unexpected big boo-boos or big extra fees. Okay, so remember as well, they're going to give you a quote, and it is going to be a quote. Now they're pretty good, they're pretty on the nail, but as you move through, you're going to see how this comes together. You're going to see things you might want to add, you might want to change. So remember as well, when they give you that quote, don't think like it might be 3,000 or whatever. Don't think that's the final price, because it's always extra. There's always a little bit more. You're always going to want to change stuff. So remember, this is an estimation, but the more precise you are, the more clear you are, then the easier everything's going to go. So with that said, let's go and have a look. Now below this video you'll see a download link for the PSD. Go and grab that, and what you should do, or what I recommend we do, is we create a folder where we're going to keep all the files and everything for this project all in one neat little place so that you can access everything. Personally, I use Dropbox. I love Dropbox. It's great for sharing links and stuff like that. You don't need to use Dropbox. I'm just going to create one on my desktop right here. Entirely up to you what you do there. So basically, I'm just going to create a new folder, and I'll call it let's call it your software idea. Okay, so this is going to be the name of your software idea. Okay, so this is where we're going to keep all the folders. Then inside that folder, I'm going to create another folder, and I'm going to call this Mockups. Okay, and then in there, I'm going to paste the PSD, the app mockup maker PSD. Okay, so what I would do is rename this app mockup maker master. Okay, so we're not going to edit that one at all. What we're going to do is we're going to copy it, and then we're going to paste it over here. So each time we make a page or a part of our app, we're just going to copy that main one and then paste a new one. So we've always got the main one sitting there. It's like our our master file, like that. So then I'm going to double click on this. I'm going to open it up in Photoshop. Now I'm not a Photoshop expert by any means, but I've been using it quite a while, and I kind of know enough to get done what I need to get done. So if you are a Photoshop expert, you might see me making some mistakes. If you're new to Photoshop, or you're not that sure with Photoshop, then I'll probably be able to teach you some stuff for Photoshop. Okay, but I can make it do what it needs to do perfectly well. So the first thing to know about when you're using Photoshop is the main. This is your main canvas image here. It's built up with layers. These layers are shown over here on this side. Now if your right hand bar, or whatever this is called, it doesn't look like this. If you click this window here, as these are ticked, you see layers is ticked there. This is the layers. So there might be other things. You can check them and uncheck them. You see that popped out down there. So if yours doesn't look like that, the way I like to have mine is I like to just have the layers there, and actions, because I do use actions a little bit. If anybody wants me to show how to make actions, I can. They're pretty handy. I'll show it you in action. I'll show you the action in action in a minute. It's really easy to make a basic one that will just quickly save your images. Yeah, so I like to have just layers showing over here, because if you've got a PSD that's made up of a ton of layers, then it's easy to see them. So any PSD you get, regardless of whether you're doing this mock-up thing or whatever, just if you're unsure of what layer does what, just click the little eyedroppers over here, and that will just pop layers on and off. Now you'll also see this is in a folder, so you see this one, top menu. You can see as I flick these buttons on and off over here, these are the buttons. As I flick these on and off, you can see they disappear and reappear. So if you're ever unsure about where stuff is, that's one way of finding out. Another way is making sure, or clicking this crosshairs tool here and just clicking on something, and you see over here it opened up this folder over here. If I click on this one, it opened up this one over here. So that's another way you can hone in and find out where stuff is. Now at the moment, I only started making this last night. At the moment, this is how it is. I may add a few more things in there for you, some buttons and stuff like that, but it's all going to be working in exactly the same way with these layers. So if there's new stuff in there, excuse me, that's my dog over there. If there's new stuff in here, then just flick those little eye things on and off. You'll soon get used to it. If you want to grab stuff and move it around, let's just I threw in a couple of on-off switches here. If you want to grab stuff and move it around, again, you grab this crosshair tool here, and you can grab and drag it and move it around anywhere you want. If you want to change the size of an image, then make sure whatever you're working on, make sure the layer is highlighted, so it's kind of grayed out, this different color gray. The amount of times I try and do something and I've forgotten to click the layer is unbelievable. You'll probably do it as well. So make sure your layer is selected, and then if you can press Command T like that. I'll just press enter to undo that, or you can go edit up here and free transform. Okay, you can see we've got, if I just zoom in a bit, you see we've got these handles on the edge. Now if you hold down shift and pull it out, it resizes in proportion. Hold down shift, pull it back in. If I don't hold down shift and I grab this, it resizes any which way it wants to resize. Okay, once you've finished resizing whatever it is, not necessarily this button, but you might be adding other things in here yourself, just hit enter, and then that will have resized itself. Okay, so I threw in a couple of things that I thought would be useful. I'll probably throw in more things as well. So what you will need to do, basically, dashboard button, right? So when your app, if you're not sure, when your app is finished and everything, and your app is made, when the user logs in to Shopify and they go to your app, the first thing they're going to be hitting is the dashboard. So I recommend that you do have a dashboard button up here, so that whatever is going on with your app down here, when they hit dashboard, it's going to basically, it's like the home page of your app. It's going to take them back. Okay, and then up here you could have things like training, your support desk, depending on what your app's going to be doing, you could have stats, or whatever it does. Basically it's kind of like a navigation. So to edit these up here, these buttons are actually, again, in more folders. We got the button background, which we can turn on and off, and then the button text. So to edit any text, make sure the text layer is highlighted, select the text tool, and then put your cursor in, and you can just start typing away, highlight, type away. If you want to add any more text anywhere else, make sure the text button is selected, put your cursor in where you want to add it, and then start typing like this. Okay, and then if we highlight it, if you want to change the size, highlight it there, highlight the whole amount of text. You can either put your cursor in here and type a number. So let's go, let's crank that up to 30 like that, or 130 even. Fine. You can use this drop down here, and that will take it down. Or the easiest way to do it, whoops, just added another layer. The easiest way to do it is highlight it, hover over this T here, and then just drag left and right. And you can see as a drag, you can get it absolutely perfect to whatever you want. Now, if you want to get rid of a layer, if we grab this layer up here that's highlighted, I can drag it down to the bottom and I can drag it to this delete icon here, or this trash icon. I can do the same thing if I want to duplicate the layer as well. This one's duplicate. This one here is folder. This one here adjusts highlights and stuff. This one here is for mask layers. And this one here is to add effects. Okay, we're not really going to be using any more of those. So let's just drag this one down and get rid, like that, and close that up. So you need to basically transfer what you've got down on paper onto here and make it look as much, as close as you can to what you want. So what I would recommend you do is you do your dashboard first. And then something else I want to show you is if your page is going to be longer and longer. So what you can do, and of course we've got our main folder as well, so it doesn't matter if we adjust this one or anything. So what you can do here is if we come up to image and we go canvas size, I like to work in pixels there. The height of this, say we can go, let's double it pretty much, we'll go to 2000. Here, where you sort of put this kind of means everything will stay at the top. So you'll see what I mean in a minute when I press OK. So we've extended the whole canvas, so we're going to get a load of transparent area. And basically what we've got already here is going to stick at the top. So let me just hit OK. And you can see everything stayed at the top and it extended at the bottom. If I'd left it in the middle, what we already had would have been in the middle, and then we would have had two transparent areas, top and bottom. So to extend this, here, this main background, we've got the footer area here. So we can grab that. So we'll highlight our move tool or our grab tool or whatever it's called. We can highlight that, drag it down to the bottom here, and then we've got like a page extension bit. So I can drag this down and duplicate it, and then drag that duplication down here like that. And then let's copy another one like this. We can drag it down and move it. And maybe that's all we need. If we want another one, just drag it down like that. So we can extend our page. So if you've got a lot of stuff going on your page or whatever, on your mockups, you can just extend your page and extend your page. So as we do that, and let me just show you one other thing. Let me just, I'll just switch that off and bring it up. Say for instance, we only went down to there. You could trim off the bottom of that just by coming over here. This is the crop tool. You can see when I clicked it, we get these little handles on the edge here. So we can just bring it up and just trim it off once we finished. Hit enter, and that's going to make it the perfect size. So once we've done that, once we've done each page at a time, everybody's going to be different. Basically, you just need to save that as a PNG or a JPEG, whatever you want to do. Now, what I do is I've got some actions here. So I just click save on that PNG and I hit this little play thing and it's just saved that as a PNG. Now I might make another quick video if anybody wants to learn how to do that. It's a great little trick. It saved me a ton of time and it just saves it straight into one folder for me. Otherwise, come up to file up here and then go save as, and then where are we at? Yes, I'm in here. So we're going to call this dashboard like that. We're going to change this format to a PNG. Now again, the amount of times I've forgotten to change this to a PNG and it tries to save it as a PSD is unbelievable. I'm sure you'll do it as well. It's really annoying. That's why I made these actions. Dashboard PNG, and then we're going to hit save. And we're going to save that in there. Okay, so then you'll go through your pages. So, and then what we'll do, again, we could save the the PSD. If we wanted to save the PSD as well, so we can go back, then we'll go File, Save As, and then we'll save our PSD as dashboard, and then I'll actually put PSD in there as well. So looking in our folder, in our mockups folder, we've got the master one. We could delete that one now because we just saved it. Let's just delete that. Let's leave it for a second because it's still open. Oh no, yeah, we've renamed it. Let me just delete that. Trash. So we've got our master one still there. We've got our dashboard PNG, and we've got our dashboard PSD. So if we want to go back and make any changes then after, if we realize we made a mistake or whatever, you can just pop open this PSD and everything will be as you left it. You can go and make the change, and then you can resave a new PNG. So you want to go through that process, and you want to get all your PNGs ready for your app. Now, then what I recommend you do, now of course you don't have to use this, you can use any kind of Word or anything like that. What I always do is use Google Drive. So just go into Google Drive and create yourself a new folder in Google Drive. Call it your Shopify app, or your software idea. Create that. Come into there, go new, and then new Google Doc. And what I'll probably do is I'll throw in a Google. I'll put a link below this video for a Google Doc that I've already done, an old one, so you can kind of see what one of mine looks like. If if you're worried or you get stuck or anything for ideas. So go ahead, name this again, your software idea. Software idea. Give it a title. Your software idea. Okay, and then we can, we can start. So then we can start. Now what I would probably do is start off with a couple of paragraphs, overview of what the product is going to be and what it's going to do and stuff like that. And then break it down piece by piece. Dashboard here, dashboard there. Another thing I do, I use Snagit. So let's see, here's one here. What I might do is I might take a screenshot and then use Snagit to put numbers in like this. So Snagit's a paid for thing. You can get a free one called Jing as well. There's probably a million more out there if you want to get in more depth. So then as you put the numbers in here, let's just copy this image, paste it in here, so we can see we've got a screenshot here, and then we can put, here we want a pop-up to collect names and email. The pop-up shows when the end user hits the green button. Blah 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 blah. So I'd carry on. I'll talk about this picture, talk about this page, and then below here I might go, right, number one is admin can add their own logo. Logo. Number two, admin has control over text area. Number three, email field is a forced field. Okay, so then I would break it down like that. So then I would talk about what's in this page, and then I would number it and then explain what those numbers correspond to. So the good thing about using a Google Doc is you can always come back and edit it and stuff like that, change stuff around, and then you can just shoot the programmers a URL so they can go and take a look at that. And if you want to make changes, then you can. So that's pretty much it. You know, of course, it's not, you know, everybody's idea is going to be different, so it's hard to show a specific thing. But I am here to help you, okay? So if you need help along with this, help in getting going or anything like that, reach out. I'm going to help you. I'm going to make sure that you get through this and you get everything done great. But the main and most important thing is to be as thorough as possible, okay? This is the foundation of your software idea. This is the foundation of your app. So this is what everything's going on. This is all the information those guys are going to have to build your app. So it's maybe like building a house with only half the drawings, you know? So be as precise and as clear as you can, and try not to leave any stone unturned. Undoubtedly you will. Undoubtedly it will, you know, I've never known a software project to go absolutely to the nail. So, you know, always go into that with the open mind, but just be as good and as clear and as precise as you can, and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay? And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.